When you think of Thanksgiving, what comes to mind? A big meal with turkey, maybe some football, and the story of the Pilgrims and Native Americans sharing a feast, right? Well, that's just one small piece of a much bigger, more complex story. Let's peel back the layers of this all-American holiday. The famous 1621 feast in Plymouth wasn't even the first Thanksgiving in North America. Way back in 1565, Spanish settlers in St. Augustine, Florida, held a feast to give thanks. English colonists in Jamestown, Virginia, did the same in 1610. In fact, giving thanks for a safe journey or a good harvest was a common practice in many colonies long before anyone thought of a national holiday. For decades, different towns and colonies celebrated their own Thanksgivings on different days. So how did it become the national holiday we know today? It took a long time. After the American Revolution, presidents like George Washington would occasionally declare a day of thanks, but there was no set date. It wasn't until the middle of the Civil War in 1863 that President Abraham Lincoln made it official. After the Union's major victory at Gettysburg, Lincoln declared the last Thursday of November a national day of Thanksgiving. He wanted to help unify a divided country, and every president since has followed his lead. Even soldiers on the battlefield would find ways to celebrate, sharing what little they had and finding a moment of gratitude amidst the conflict. From there, our modern traditions started to take shape. The iconic Macy's Thanksgiving Day Parade kicked off in 1924, filling the streets of New York with giant balloons and marching bands. And what's Thanksgiving without football? That became a beloved ritual by the mid-20th century. But these traditions also signaled a shift. The holiday was becoming more commercial. Retailers saw Thanksgiving as the perfect starting gun for the Christmas shopping season. This led to one of the holiday's weirdest moments in history. In 1939, President Franklin D. Roosevelt actually moved Thanksgiving up a week to give shoppers more time to spend money. People were outraged. They nicknamed it Franksgiving, and for 2 years, the country was split, celebrating on 2 different dates. Congress finally stepped in, and in 1941, officially set Thanksgiving as the 4th Thursday of November, which it has been ever since. Of course, the story of Thanksgiving isn't a happy one for everyone. For many Native Americans, the holiday is a painful reminder of a difficult history. The arrival of colonists led to broken treaties, stolen land, and immense suffering. Since 1970, many indigenous people have gathered at Plymouth Rock on Thanksgiving for a national day of mourning. It's a day to honor their ancestors and to challenge the simple, sanitized story of a friendly feast that many of us were taught. It reminds us that for every story of gratitude, there can be a story of loss. And what about the day after Thanksgiving? We call it Black Friday, but that name didn't start with stores making a profit. In the 1960s, Philadelphia police coined the term to describe the awful traffic jams and chaotic crowds of shoppers that flooded the city. It was a negative term. It was until the 1980s that retailers successfully rebranded with the story that it s the day their books go from in the red to in the black. Now, Black Friday has gone global, kicking off a week-long shopping frenzy with Cyber Monday. But there's even a counter-movement to that, called Buy Nothing Day, encouraging people to step back from consumerism. So from ancient harvest feasts and presidential proclamations to parades, football, and furious shopping, the history of Thanksgiving is far more fascinating and complicated than just one meal. It's a story of unity and division, of gratitude and grief, of celebration and commerce. It forces us to ask what we're truly giving thanks for. Thanks so much for watching. If you found this interesting, hit that like button and subscribe for more deep dives into history.